From the 1st of July 2026, the way every employer in Australia manages superannuation changes fundamentally. Payday Super means exactly what it sounds like. Super contributions paid on every payday, not quarterly. In this briefing, we will walk through what is changing, what the penalties look like for getting it wrong, and most importantly, what you need to do before that date arrives. This is a Quantum House Australia advisory briefing prepared in May 2026. We will cover 5 areas today. First, the background to Payday Super and why it has been introduced. Second, the new payment rules and timeframes, including the concept of qualifying earnings, which replaces the current earnings base. Third, the super guarantee charge, the penalty regime that applies when contributions are late. Fourth, the closure of the small business superannuation clearinghouse and what that means for businesses currently using it. And fifth, the ATO's published compliance approach for the first year, which gives employers a degree of certainty about how enforcement will be handled during the transition. Currently, employers pay superannuation guarantee contributions quarterly, by the 28th day after the end of each quarter. Under that model, the money can sit outstanding for up to 3 months before an obligation to pay arises. From the 1st of July 2026, that changes completely. Under Payday Super, every time you pay your employees, you must also pay their super. Contributions must be received by the employee's super fund within 7 business days of each payday. The reform was driven by a $6 billion annual gap in unpaid or underpaid superannuation identified across the Australian workforce. More frequent payments mean less opportunity for that gap to develop. The Australian Taxation Office is the central administrator of the new framework, and it has made Payday Super a compliance priority through to 2029. Let's be precise about the timeframes, because this is where most compliance risk sits in the early months. For standard employees, contributions must be received by the fund within 7 business days of each payday. Note, business days, not calendar days. For new employees, there is an extended window of 20 business days, which recognises that onboarding a new staff member and setting up fund details takes time. And when an existing employee moves to a new super fund, a similar extended timeframe applies for the first contribution to that fund. Alongside the frequency change, the earnings base for calculating super is also changing. Qualifying earnings, which we call QE, replaces ordinary time earnings, or OTE, from the 1st of July. QE is broader. It includes salary sacrifice amounts that would otherwise have qualified as earnings, additional super required under awards and enterprise agreements, and earnings from certain contractors who were not previously captured under the SG rules. Your payroll system must reflect all of these. If your software has not yet been updated, contact your provider now. Taking stock of the key changes side by side. Payment frequency, currently quarterly, from the 1st of July, every payday. The earnings base, currently ordinary time earnings from the 1st of July, qualifying earnings, a broader definition. The maximum contributions base, currently $62,500 per quarter, from the 1st of July, $250,000 per year on a cumulative annual basis. The clearinghouse, the ATO's small business superannuation. Clearinghouse is currently available, but it closes on the 30th of June 2026, the day before Payday Super begins. And the trigger for the super guarantee charge. Currently a quarterly shortfall from the 1st of July, any contribution not received within 7 business days of payday. The super guarantee charge applies when contributions are not received by the fund within the required time frame. Under Payday Super, the SGC has been substantially strengthened, and the numbers are significant. There is an administrative uplift, an additional amount on top of any shortfall, which varies depending on your employer history. It can be reduced if you make a voluntary disclosure before the ATO identifies the issue. Beyond the uplift, penalties can reach 200% of the SGC amount. That means if you owe $10,000 in unpaid contributions, you could be looking at a $20,000 penalty on top of that before interest. The penalty tiers are 25% of unpaid SGC for a first offence and 50% for subsequent offences, and the ATO is not waiting for complaints to come in. It uses single-touch payroll data matching to compare what employers report as wages with what funds actually receive as contributions. That comparison happens in near real time. There is no safe window of delay. The $6 billion annual SG gap that motivated this reform is the reason enforcement is being prioritised. The ATO intends to close a substantial portion of that gap through Payday Super. If your business currently uses the ATO's Small Business Superannuation Clearinghouse, this slide demands your immediate attention. The SBSCH is closing. It stopped accepting new users on the 1st of October 2025. It will close entirely on the 30th of June 2026. That is the day before Payday Super begins. If you are still on the SBSCH on the 1st of July, you will have no mechanism to make payday frequency contributions on the required schedule. The transition process involves 3 steps: selecting a SuperStream compliant clearinghouse, integrating it with your payroll system, and testing that contributions can flow correctly. All 3 steps must be complete before the 30th of June. For businesses with complex payroll arrangements or who have not yet started this process, the time pressure is very real. We recommend acting on this before any other item on this list. The ATO has published Practical Compliance Guideline PCG 2026/1, which sets out how it will approach compliance during the first year of Payday Super, from the 1st of July 2026 to the 30th of June 2027. It uses a 3-zone risk framework. Low risk: an employer who attempts to pay on time, corrects errors promptly, and ends the period with no outstanding shortfalls. These employers will receive the most favourable treatment from the ATO. Medium risk: an employer who does not quite meet the low-risk standard, but who ensures all shortfalls are cleared within 28 days of the end of the relevant quarter. The ATO may investigate, but full penalties are less likely. High risk: shortfalls that remain outstanding beyond that window. These employers can expect full enforcement action and maximum penalties. This guideline provides real certainty for employers who are making a genuine effort, but it is not a license to delay preparation. The ATO's data matching is operational from day one, and shortfalls will be identified quickly. The best outcome for any employer is to be in the low-risk zone from the start. 6 concrete actions, each of which should be underway now. First, transition from the SBSCH. If you are currently using it, this is the most time-critical item. Select an alternative SuperStream compliant clearinghouse and complete the integration before the 30th of June. Second, assess your payroll system's readiness, contact your payroll provider, and confirm specifically that the system supports payday frequency SG payments and qualifying earnings calculations. Do not assume, ask. Third, map all pay codes to QE. Every remuneration type in your payroll system needs to be reviewed against the new qualifying earnings definition. This includes salary sacrifice, overtime, contractor payments, and any additional super required under awards or enterprise agreements. Fourth, model your cash flow. If you currently pay quarterly, switching to payday frequency means super goes out with every payroll run. For businesses with weekly or fortnightly cycles, the impact on working capital needs to be planned for. Fifth, review your employment contracts and enterprise agreements. Some awards impose additional SG obligations that must now be reflected in your QE calculations. Confirm your arrangements are aligned. Sixth, train your payroll and finance team. The people running payroll need to understand the 7 business day window, the broader earnings base, and what happens if a contribution is late. 3 things we recommend you do this month. First, conduct a payroll and clearinghouse review. Confirm your payroll software supports payday frequency SG and qualifying earnings, and that your SBSCH transition is either complete or formally underway with a clear completion date before the 30th of June. Second, model your cash flow and check your contracts. Understand the working capital impact of more frequent contributions and confirm that your employment contracts and enterprise agreements capture all obligations under the new qualifying earnings definition. Third, book a readiness review with us. We can walk through your payroll configuration, clearinghouse arrangements, and contractor obligations to confirm your business is ready for the 1st of July 2026. The date is fixed. The preparation window is closing. We are here to help you get it right. Thank you for your time today. Please reach out to Quantum House Australia at inquiry@quantumhouse.com.au to arrange your readiness review.